Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. Rob just rode his 2022 Harley Davidson Electra Glide Limited over. It is very, very dirty. It needs a bath. So he asked if I would detail it for him. You can see the dirt on the wheels. Bugs this time of year here in November of 2024. Not too bad in Ohio, but he did pick up a couple. And he said he got caught on some very dirty roads. And it has slung up all that wet funk from the roadways up on his bike. So this may be a dumb video, but I'm going to test a concept. A hack that I have tried to show many of my biker friends after I ceramic coat their bike, a safe way to wash it without putting all those feather scratches on it, using detail towels and quick detailers and microfiber towels and scratching the heck out of their ceramic coated bike. After I spent the time to polish it to remove the scratches, they get it all marred up. So a hack that I have taught them is buy a portable power sprayer. They'll have a battery attached to it. This is the Works Hydro Shot, available for about $100, $130 on Amazon. DeWalt makes some, so if you already have the batteries, there are all kinds of units on Amazon. But the concept is if you buy distilled water, you can fill up a bucket of water and spray the heavy dirt and grime and bugs off after a ride and walk away. There will be no minerals in distilled water to leave water spots or mineral spots on your beautiful bike or car or truck if you use this for other purposes. So I have my little handy dandy TDS meter gauge here. Let's open this up. Turn the unit on. Let's dip it in this water and see what the TDS rating is. It is 0. Okay. So we want to be under 20 parts per million on any water that you're using to provide a spot-free rinse. So the same technology they use at the car washes. At the end, you'll see they'll flood the vehicle with spot-free water to push out any tap water from that water system that's used in the tunnel washes. We're doing the same thing at home. So I am going to hook in these power sprayers. Will draw from any bucket of water. People take them up to the lake, draw from the lake water, which is kind of crappy water, but it works to blow off sand and debris. You could put in a bucket of water and go around the house, spray off your fences, whatever, in the back of the house to windows. But the hack for vehicle washing uses is distilled water to use as a final rinse. And then you can blow dry the vehicle if you want, or just let it dry in the sun or air to not leave water spots. So there's the 20-foot intake hose. And let's go through what I'm going to use here. So my theory that I'm going to test here, there's just 3 gallons of DI water in this bucket. I'm going to see how far that gets me. But I am going to use DIY Details All Clean, which is their great surfactant, amazing APC that is so much safer for cleaning vehicles than harsh APCs that you'll buy in the store. So you want to use DIY Details brand All Clean. If you buy it in a trigger spray bottle from them, you will see it says ready to use. It's already at the proper dilution. I go through so much of it, I buy it by the gallon, and it is a concentrate. So you'll see there on the gallon. So it's 15 to 1. I use DI water when I make my concoction with my sprayer because DI water will help chemicals last longer if you make them that way. So there you can tell, All Clean, 15 to 1 in my IK sprayer. The concept that I teach my customers here is with that bottle, it's very economical. It's only $10 or so if you buy the ready-to-use 16-ounce from Car Supplies Warehouse or DIYDetail.com. Several brands. It's now in House of Rags, but DIY Detail brand is carried many, many places. But I tell you, buy a gallon of it because it's so cheap when you break it down. Because I think the gallon's only $49 or something like that. You can buy it on sale sometimes. Break it down. This makes 1 gallon of concentrate makes 15 gallons of ready-to-use product. This is great at spraying on a cool, out of direct sunlight, not on hot engine, not on hot paint. To spray the All Clean, which I'm going to do here, on the dirty areas, and let it break down, emulsify that heavy dirt, bugs, grime, road film, and then rinse it off with the DI water. And we'll see how much dirt kind of just comes off the bike just with that spray and rinse using the chemical method. And I'll add, I'm not using any fancy equipment for this. Just the product, the Works Hydro Shot, but I'm not going to use my IK foamers, the electric foamers and all that. I'm trying to keep this short, brief, and economical as possible. And at the end, we're not going to have to dry the bike with a towel at all. So it's going to minimize that possibility of scratching with a drying towel, which is where most of your scratches on your cars, trucks, SUVs, and motorcycles comes from. There's not enough lubrication on that towel across the vehicle to dry it properly. So this skips the whole process completely. So pre-treat with a chemical, rinse it off before it dries. Make that very clear. You never let an APC, especially even as great as DIY Details is, dry on the vehicle. It could leave a residue or some staining. I'll add that when you see this working in the video, I have the stubby one that I bought to make this easier to spray up close than the one that comes on at stock. That's way too long. We don't need that for when we're cleaning a vehicle pretty much. That little stubby, I think it's called a 6.5-inch stubby, is available on Amazon. I want to say $12 to $14. I'll try to post a link for that stubby wand extension that their selectable nozzle snaps into. Drawing from DI water, I do have a bucket of water set up over here with my wash pad. We want high quality wash media or pads, filament or depth to it. I'll put in just a couple dollops, so an ounce or two of Incredible Subs in the bucket, pour it onto your mitt, spray it in with the Works Hydro Shot, and let that foam up to build my sudsy, foamy soap. So chemical, rinse, and then get most of that grime off, and then make our soapy mitt up and come in and wash it with a contact method using the wash mitt, and then rinse that suds off with a sprayer, and then we're done. You can blow dry it if you want, but you don't have to. So let's do a little test here. We'll come right in. Is this pipe cool to the touch? Yes. So let's do, you know what, let's leave that as a control. We'll do the all clean side on this. So we'll let this work. A couple sprays and let it break that dust and grime down. I'm trying to stay on this half of the bike. We'll let that work for a second. Let's get some in there. These IK sprayers are sweet. And then we'll rinse it, water only, with all clean working, and see how much dirt releases off this Geon Mose ceramic coated bike with the chemical working. All right, I got it primed. The first time you buy one of these units, you might have to feed your garden hose into it to prime it the first time, but it is primed with DI water. Let's rinse that chemical off. Still priming. Right now I'm on the 15-degree spray and nozzle. Here's a cool illustration right there. See how it's pooling right there? Because there's still that road funk and film. Chemical side, see how it's almost pretty much clean already? Look at that. That's your proof. APC DIY Detail will break that stuff off quicker. Wow, a lot of that grime just came off with the pre-treatment by itself. I'm not gonna let it dry. I can see the advantage right here. Look at the funk and film on that side. If I take my finger, yuck, barely anything. The other benefit of this that I'm testing, I want to add this because this is something I was thinking about. This is going to use a lot less water, a lot less mess on the floor. When I'm detailing in colder environments here in the winter, maybe the garage door is closed. Sure, I could go through a CR Spotless, feed that water up to my Active 2.0. But you guys know, if you've used a pressure sprayer on a bike, it's a lot of water for small surface areas. absolutely use your pressure sprayer on your cars or trucks. But here, you're just cleaning a small section at a time, rinsing it. I think this works is going to be a great hack. I'm going to go through a lot less of filtered water than if I'm going through my resin cartridges. 2 gallons a minute will burn through those resin cartridges pretty quick over a couple months. I have to buy new filters for that thing every couple months, the amount of vehicles that I do. We'll see how far 3 gallons gets us of the DI water, but I think it's going to get a lot of this funk broken down and sprayed off. So I'll get the camera set up here. Let's see how much on this funky fairing this will get off. We're going to wet the area. Especially in the engine. We're mainly going to treat the high traffic film, grungy areas of the bike. Put a little mist there. Let's get some on the wheel. Again, normally I'm using many times my pressure sprayer. I got different brushes for my wheels and everything. But I'm going to show you how much dirt you can just get off with a good APC. Like DIY Details All Clean. And we'll come back and rinse all this heavy funk off. And if you have a good coating, wax or sealant, especially a ceramic coating, dirt releases so much easier from the surface. Huge proponent of ceramic coatings. Again, do not let this dry. We'll let that work for about a minute on those heavily soiled areas. Nice length of hose here. When you're doing this pre-rinse, you want to get all that residue flowing off the bike. So much grime blows off here. Everything's releasing very easily. So thinking about the theory here, I might pull from tap water because I blew through about 2.5 gallons there. I don't want you guys spending $10 or $15 on DI water. I would say maybe the best technique for you folks at home is to do the pre-treatment with your chemical, rinse it with the Works Hydro Shot with tap water. Then after you wash the bike, I want you to put your distilled water in a different bucket. Then when you're ready to rinse the soap off, put your intake hose, which I'll show you here. I have a weight on it because that bob wants to come out. Do a final rinse with DI water at the end and flush all that tap water out, because you will be going through a lot of DI water if you're using this method. But you can see here, a lot of that funk, ceramic coating is working great. It's about 2 years old on this bike, but a lot of that funk has been rinsed off. Okay, that major grime, which is going to make it much safer when we come in with our wash mitt. I'm not going to film anymore. We got to the gist of what I'm trying to show you guys and accomplish here with the equipment and the chemical and the DI water. I'm going to continue cleaning this bike and then do a spot-free rinse at the end. But hopefully you found some of this content useful and just showing you the power of having a Works Hydro Shot. You can get the same results without spending $400 or $500 on a spot-free water system. All right, guys, happy Thanksgiving coming up soon. Thanks for watching.